Hello Commanders, welcome to Off You Go's Elite Dangerous tutorial series for beginning beginners. These videos are designed to give you the tools you need to open up the galaxy as quickly as possible after finishing your first tutorial mission. I've got about 20 hours in this game now, and I've probably only finished about a couple of hours of content really, because most of those hours have been spent learning how to do the basic missions. So in the next few videos I'm going to talk you through, in very basic terms, just how you can get out of the space station, you can get your first missions, and you can go out and do them. You can start earning credits, you can start exploring the galaxy. So if you think that you fall into that bracket, then give these videos a watch and you might learn something. So this first episode, are these videos going to be worth you watching? Well, hopefully I've just answered that one. And we're going to be looking really quickly at how you should set up your mouse and keyboard and which are the important key bindings for you to use straight away. So with that in mind, let's go to the options menu. Let's go to controls. And here you can see lots of different controls. Now most of these we don't need to play with at the moment. But immediately what I would recommend you do is you put your mouse x-axis into yaw from roll. So when you move the mouse left, it points the ship left. When you move it right, it yaws to the right. And your y-axis to pitch. So now all of your sort of rotational from the front direction controls are bound to your mouse. Then into flight rotation, I would put your roll settings to roll left as A and rolling right as D. That's flight rotation done. Flight thrust. So the thrusters are what push your aircraft in a certain direction. So I've set Q as my thrusting left and E as my thrusting right. My W as thrusting directly upwards and S as thrusting downwards. So now I've got all of my movement controls bound to moving the mouse and to the buttons around the AS, the WASD area. So the next ones we need to look at are the flight throttle. What I've done is I found continuous is just far too slow a change. If you're in combat and you need to change your speed quickly, I found 10% works really well, and I increase the throttle and decrease it with the mouse wheel. Next, I've mapped an extra couple of buttons down here. I've got Z as minus 50% speed, or reversing at 50%, and C as going forward at 50%. Now this is your ideal combat speed, and it makes your ship the most maneuverable of these speeds. So it's really easy to flick between going forwards or going in reverse. And you can then use the mouse wheel to change your speed further if you want to. Next one is flight landing overrides. So basically, if your landing gear is down, then these buttons will take over your normal key bindings. And the only ones I've changed are thrust forward and thrust backwards, because we don't have any buttons bound for those yet. And when you are landing, you want to have something nice and easy to move forward a little bit without having to engage 10% of your throttle. Moving further on into flight miscellaneous. Flight assist I've left as left shift. These are for you to play around with, but engine boost is very useful, so to put that to something that you like. Your frame shift drive is J by default. I have added an extra K when I want to just use Super Cruise, because sometimes I want to use Super Cruise without actually going into hyperspace, so having two different buttons for that is helpful. Moving further on, weapons. So I have got my primary fire mouse 1, mouse 2, nice and useful. I have turned firing deploys hardpoints off. You don't have to, but it's just flying around space stations. If you're not sure what you're doing and you accidentally start deploying hardpoints and shooting lasers, you can get blown up, which wasn't very fun for me. You will need the deploy hardpoints button in this case, so make sure you've got that mapped to something useful. Moving on, mode switches. So head look, where's head look? Head look, I've set to mouse 3. Having head look available is really useful if you've got a button to hand, so you can move your head and look around the cockpit, look up, look around you, especially helpful in combat. And then finally, if you want to have a look at the different cameras, go into the camera suite and set toggle camera suite to something that you'll remember, and that allows you to operate some different cameras and get some cool views. The rest of them you can play with, even these, the ones that I've told you about today, you can fly around and see if you want to change them, but I would say as the absolutely necessary things that you need to know where they are, those are the buttons. So we'll click apply before we exit, back to the main menu, and we're done. I hope you found this first video helpful. Next video we're going to have a 5-minute look around the cockpit and around the space station that we are in, and then third episode I think we'll get off and we'll fly our first mission and earn some money. Right, thanks very much for watching, hope it's been useful for you, and I will see you guys out there in the night sky. Bye!